this interview. I'll take few tips from you. Probably playing reverse switch it and stuff. And next year I'll be.
Hi there 360 family, thank you very much for joining. Today we have a big surprise. I'm here at the Araku coffee shop in Mumbai and I've got an old friend, foe, but more likely a friend these days. Ajinkya Rahane, captain of KKR, just finished the IPL season and we're going to have a conversation about all things life and cricket. Thanks for joining. It's an absolute honor to see you again.
Absolute pleasure, good to see you.
I know this season didn't work out as you would have wanted it to, but being the captain of KKR, what was the experience like?
I think for me, experience was really good. I mean, first of all, it was an honor to lead the champion team. KKR won the championship last year. Experience-wise, I really enjoyed it personally from my point of view. And also, it was good to interact with other players, all the players. Most of the guys, they played last year. They've been playing for so many years for KKR, like Sunny, Sunil Narain, Dre Russell. These guys has been the veteran of KKR. So I think it was, for me personally, a very good experience. Learned a lot, As a captain, sometimes it's tough. Especially for me, I know when they appointed me as a captain, I know it's going to be a challenge because they won the championship last year, and to defend the title as a player, it is a challenge. Sometimes the expectations on the players, from themselves and also from the people outside. So it was a challenging season for us, but personally, I learned a lot and really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think it was close. It was actually closer than you think. There were 2 or 3 results that didn't go your way. And had that been different, the whole tournament could have been different for you. I see you have the cap on there, home of the champions.
Yeah.
That comes with added pressure.
Yeah.
So did you feel the pressure this season? Added pressure of being captain, also defending the title?
To be honest, I didn't feel any pressure. Like, I knew, as I said, it will be a challenging task for me because as a captain, when you know players, like I know all the players, but when you build a team, it becomes slightly easier for you. But I just went in there and I know they appointed me as a captain. So for me, it was a challenging task. Though I've been the captain of previously for my state team, international team as well in the test format and also in one-day format. But for me, it was all about how can I bring best out of each and every one. I believe in giving freedom to my players, that talk, one-on-one talk rather than I hate talking a lot. I hardly talk. So for me, it's always about having one-on-one conversation and try and give freedom to our players, give them responsibility as well. Because for me, as a captain, as a leader of the team, every player is important and it's always about the team. So didn't feel any pressure, but I knew it was going to be a challenge.
No, for sure. Pressure does mad things to people sometimes. Yeah. And I mean, I personally struggled towards the back end of my career to sleep at night sometimes because my mind was also always so active, thinking about strategies and also putting personal pressure on myself, like personal expectation on performance. And once you get a good knock, you feel you got to repeat that and people expect you to do that every single time. But sport doesn't always work like that. Just quickly on your ownership, Shah Rukh Khan, I've always been a huge fan. Yeah. Was he very involved this season? Did he give some good vibes to the team?
So firstly, I am a huge fan of Shah Rukh Khan as well. When they appointed me as a captain, I was out of Mumbai and I was at my farmhouse. And then he video called me and then he wanted to congratulate me for being appointed as a captain. But he was very sweet. His support throughout the season was massive. He came for 2-3 matches this time because he was also busy with his schedule. But getting to know him was something special. I know he understands the game really well, and also, he played some sports during his younger days, so he understands what a player goes through. The pressure, the expectations, the hard work which we put in on and off the field, the thinking, the strategies, and everything. So I think his support was really massive, and that was so good to know about. As an owner, he's actually with you. He's actually supporting you, and he never got involved, like personally, talking about the team or the combination or anything. He never got involved. Whenever we used to do well or we lost a match, he was always there to support us through his messages or his video calls. So I think his support was really massive. Other owners, I met Juhi ma'am, I met Jay Mehta as well, but I met them for like 2-3 times. Yeah. But Shah Rukh sir's message was always there, irrespective of winning or losing the match. he was always there to support. So it was so good to know him that he's always with every player and he treated every player equally. It was not about a senior or a junior. For him, every player was really equal. So
Yeah, I picked it up from him as well. Playing for RCB all the years,
Yeah.
I would follow his movements and his energy after
Yes.
winning and losing.
Yeah.
He's always been very consistent, very supportive of the
Yeah.
players, and also very welcoming to opposition players.
yes, absolutely.
Fun fact, I don't know if you know about this, but many years ago when the IPL was in South Africa,
Yeah.
I actually was asked to perform with him.
Is
And
it?
he got me to sing a Hindi song on a huge stage in front of
you?
thousands of people. And I got him to sing a song in my mother tongue as well,
Okay.
which was a fantastic experience. You mentioned farmhouse. Do you actually farm, or is it just a breakaway spot?
Just a breakaway spot for us, but I think we do grow now all the vegetables and the fruit orchards and everything. Basically started after COVID. In Mumbai, you hardly get an open space.
Yeah.
For me, for my kids, it's all about just going out there and being in the open space. Just do whatever they like to do. So we just started building our farmhouse. It's just under, it's getting ready. But we thought we'll just go and stay there. We can stay there. There's a small house next to our farmhouse. So we were staying there.
Beautiful.
And it was fun.
Beautiful. When you were in South Africa, did you ever visit a game park or a game reserve?
Yes, we did.
Did you?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
A long time back. I think that was in 2013-14 when we toured South Africa for the test series. But just enjoyed it.
Okay. What
I
kind of-
wanted to ask you.
Yes.
Everyone know about your T20 batting and all the short stuff. But for me, the test cricket is ultimate thing.
Absolutely.
2 innings which I remember. The scores are not high.
Yeah.
But what I liked about those innings was one in Australia and one against us. Playing those 200 plus balls and scoring 18-20 runs.
Blocking everybody.
Just wanted to understand your mindset during those innings.
Yeah, so I think you would probably say a very similar thing. Personal performance is important.
Yeah.
But from a very young age, I was always prepared to play for the team more than myself.
Okay.
And that's what it comes down to. That is the very short answer. Obviously, playing those kind of knocks, you need to be experienced. Haven't spent a lot of time with my game. And that's the kind of advice I always give to youngsters these days as well, is go and figure out your own game.
Yeah.
It's great to have coaches and influencers and people telling you what to do. A lot of youngsters would come and talk to me after games. I see them talking to Virat, to yourself, and they want advice. But ultimately, you have to figure out what you are good at and what you're not so good at.
Got it.
So at that stage of my career, I was fairly confident with my technique and my ability to place shots.
Yeah.
But more so in my defensive game.
Yeah.
And that was actually a turning point for me in 2008, where I started understanding how to play the ball a bit later.
Okay.
I always had the attacking shots from a very young age, but
okay.
to actually build an innings and to be able to frustrate the bowlers was always a bit of a challenge. So in 2008, that started changing.
Okay.
And those two knocks that you referred to were probably the ultimates of actually testing my defensive and mental game.
Yeah.
From the mental side of things, that's probably the biggest challenge for cricketers, especially in Test match cricket, because there's nowhere to hide, and it's a marathon. It's the endurance game. So, to me, the motivation was team.
Yeah.
How can we find a way to save this Test match? Because things might change the next Test match. We're already in trouble, and it happened in Australia where we saved that Test match somehow.
Yeah.
And the tide turned the next Test match, and we batted at 6+ and over, and we demolished them in that final Test, and it was also worth it. But talk to me about your mental toughness. Was there a point in your career that you can remember where things changed a bit, where you had to face some challenges and you got through it? What do you think about mental toughness?
I think when I came into the Indian team was in 2010-2011. And first 2 years of my international cricket, I was a 12th man. And before that, before getting into a test team, I scored 1,000 runs every year for 6 seasons in the domestic cricket.
Wow.
And then got into the Indian cricket test team. My debut was in T20 first, and then ODI, and I made a debut in 2013 in test cricket against Australia and India. But those 2 years were really challenging. Frankly, as a cricketer, when you score so many runs, you want to go out there and play a test match. Test cricket is ultimate. Test cricket is everything. But, other players were coming and they're playing before me. I completely understand the team environment. And for me, team always comes first. for me, it was always about how can I learn, from every player now. The focus on the controllable things that made me really stronger mentally, rather than creeping about the opportunity or gaining sympathy. That's the time I thought, stay away from sympathy, stay away from people who are actually telling you that, hey man, you should be playing that test match. Why are you not playing? I thought, just stay away from that. Let's focus on the controllable things. Are training really hard, try and get better as a batter. Knows the situations all the senior players were going through. Try and learn from them, and then whenever my opportunity comes, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
So I thought those 2 years made me really tough. Just by staying in the moment, trying to learn and just staying away from sympathy.
Sure.
That helped me a lot. And also, there were many challenges after the test series. I mean, when my debut happened, I follow a Vedanta philosophy. There is a ashram in Pune. So I've been following that in 2013, and it's been helping me a lot. It's always about how can you keep your life simple. It's not always about the fame, the glamour, or those man of the matches award. Those keeping your life simple, all doing simple things. When things are not going your way, what can you do? All these things that made me really tougher mentally.
That's some really good advice. I hope you guys took note of that. So I wanted to talk about your technique and when it's not going well. Do you have trigger points of understanding how you got dismissed, why it happened, and you rectify that? To me, it was always, I was playing a bit early. I got a little bit, when I was out of form, I would push at the ball a bit harder than usual. And that's why it was always so important for me just to be still, keep my head solid, and let the ball come into my space. What are your trigger points or checkpoints?
For me, it's pretty much similar. When I'm not doing well and when I see my videos, it's basically the impact point is your leg is not moving and your bat and your hands are going forward. So it's always about going back to your basics, like what we say, just watch the ball and let the ball come to you and play close to your body. So I think playing domestic cricket helped me a lot. Sometimes when you play at the highest level, international cricket, and coming back to domestic, it's not easy. At the highest level, the wickets are it's really good. The bowler, the pace is there, and once you're used to that pace, going back to domestic, it's not easy. So I thought that is the point. I have to keep it really simple, try and focus on the ball, just stay steady, and let the ball come to you, and just play at as late as possible. I played county few seasons as well. Playing in England, is challenging. But that taught me a lot. Not only about the cricket, but also managing off the field things. In India, we get everything. When you travel, you get laundry, you get your room service, food, everything, whatever you order, everything comes at your door. But in England, when you play county cricket, it's always about doing all the things on your own. Maybe laundry, going and taking your food,
Doing the dishes.
everything, and at the same time getting ready for the match. I like ironing my clothes, so I do that as well. Before one day before the game, I like to iron my clothes, keeping it ready, everything. So coming back to the cricketing question, I think for me, trigger is always about playing as late as possible, playing under my eyes and close to my body. And for me, it's always about if my hands are really close to my waist, I know my bat or my hands are not going away. So
From AB to 360, I do some coaching videos on the YouTube channel as well. And I would always, when I was younger, my back lift would go a little bit behind my body. And that was because my hands was a bit out. So then I found this part of my wrist to just rest on my hip. And then without looking, I knew my back lift was in the perfect spot. But just quickly back to your comment about county cricket. So when I was 19, I got the opportunity to play in Ireland. And that taught me so many valuable lessons of, as you said, off the field stuff, doing dishes, laundry, making sure the house is tidy, making your own bed. And there's definitely a lot of value in stuff like that. I also had to do cricket coaching to the club to make the extra dollar on the side, to sort of just keep things afloat. Because we weren't paid a lot of money then. But it was an amazing few months of my life where I just learned to look after my own business, and to keep it basic, as you said. And sometimes it's the most basic things that actually mean the biggest at the end of the day. Right. Quickly, just back to your upbringing. So you grew up here in Mumbai, probably just outside, or
just outside Mumbai. There's a place, place called Dombivli, which is like 2 hours away from here. So I used to travel from Dombivli to here. So the one-way travel, when I started playing cricket, I was 7, 8, and I used to travel alone in local trains. I'm not sure if you have experienced a local train journey, but it's really tough. So I used to travel alone, but then travel 2 hours one way and then going back 2 hours again. It was challenging for me. But again, that journey taught me a lot. The people in that journey helped me a lot. You hardly get a space in the local train to sit, and carrying a kit bag of my size that time was challenging. So yeah, but that journey taught me a lot. Again, my parents sacrificed most of the things for me. To be able to play cricket. That time for us, I'm really grateful that I could represent India. But that time, affording a cricket bat or cricketing stuff was out of our budget or everything. My parents had to sacrifice most of their savings or what they wanted to do with that saving. They sacrificed, and they provided all the cricketing equipments or the good things for me. So whatever I am today is because of obviously my parents' sacrifice and yeah.
Yeah, mom and dad, they always play a big role.
Yes.
Apart from your parents, who played the biggest role in your cricketing journey? Was there a particular coach that stands out? I mean, I think of my journey, there were probably 40 different coaches. But was there one person, even not a coach, or person with a comment that stood out for you?
For me, I think Praveen Amre, when I got into the Mumbai state team first time, he was there as a coach, so I know him since very long. He was he always supported me a lot, and whenever I was not doing well, he was the one who used to call me first, and he said, "Don't worry, everything will be fine." You see a lot of the things nowadays. When you're doing well, you will receive 100 of all, but if you're not doing anything, you will actually know the people. But he's the one, him and the Vedanta philosophy which I follow, Mr. Prayagraj. So these two people, they've been always with me. And I remember one incident after my debut test match against Australia. In India, we play on rank turners, and my debut was really bad. First innings, I scored 4 and 2. And I was at home, people always talk about you when you're not doing well, debut inning. Didn't go my way, but I knew I was working really hard. I was at home and just thinking about I'm better than this. I was telling myself, and he called me, Mr. Praveen Amre, and he said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Sir, I'm just sitting at home." I said, "This is not the time to sit at home. Let's go and practice." He said, "Let's focus on the controllable things. Let's not worry about what people are talking about you. You know how good you are. It's always about going out there, control the controllable things, and everything else will be fine." So I think he's the one. He's always been with me, apart from my family, and also Mr. Prayagraj Hule. He's always there to support me.
You talk about blocking out the outside noise, and it's probably one of the biggest challenges.
Yes.
As you become a bit more famous, people start writing about you. Generally negative stuff when you're not doing well. The papers are all over the place, and headlines. Does he belong there? So it's always really difficult. But let's fast forward a bit. Not fast forward. Let's talk about the now. Where are you with your journey right now? How do you feel? Do you have many years left? Do you still have aspirations to play for India in all the formats? Or do you want to maybe block things up a bit and start focusing on one or two other formats instead of all of it? What's your plans moving forward?
For me, I do feel I still have many years left in me. I don't want to put any number to it, like how many years left, but I do still feel that I have many years left in me. I'm still enjoying my cricket. For me, I still have that hunger and fire and passion to represent India, especially in the test format. Because as you mentioned, that is the ultimate thing. It is a challenge, test cricket. So I still want to go out there to represent India in the test format. Cricketing wise, I'm really enjoying it. T20 format, last 2-3 years has been really good for me. Worked really hard on my game. Before last 2-3 seasons, whichever franchisee I played for, I had certain role, and I always believe whatever team tells you, you have to follow, go to that role and play that role accordingly. But last 2-3 seasons, I thought I worked really hard, managed to score with a different strike rate, 170, 180. That's because of just the freedom. And I always been an attacking player, but I had to adapt to it because the team told me to, play. No, you have to play with 120 strike rate, 130 strike rate. Others will play around you. But I always enjoy playing cricket. But I think the Test cricket is ultimate thing for me. I'm enjoying T20 format. I still feel I can contribute for many years while playing cricket. Don't want to think far too ahead. What is going to happen at the moment? Just want to stay with the cricket. Just keep enjoying and keep learning and keep growing, because I believe that till you play cricket, you are always learning. So just I'm still learning how to adapt to it. Maybe after this interview, I'll take few tips from you. Probably playing reverse switch it and stuff. And next year I'll be.
It's amazing what you just said there now, because for a lot of years that I played against you, I could see that you're almost holding back. I mean, you had great knocks, but I could see that you're a natural striker of the ball, but you're playing very much within yourself. And that is very normal to sort of balance that out.
I remember one thing. I scored 100 against RCB, and you were wicket keeping in that game at the Chinnaswamy. And you told me one thing from behind. Come on, man, you can do better than this. Like you can actually hit the ball out of the park.
I never chirp people, but that's true. I actually
it was in a good way.
Yes.
He said, "No, I know this. You can actually hit the ball. So why are you not playing your
You're
game?"
holding back, exactly.
And after that, I actually started playing my game in that inning. So thanks to you, because of your thing that I scored 100. But I admire your batting as well. I always enjoyed watching you on the television against each other whenever we played. Still remember one knock against us. You played Heat of Mumbai at Wankhede. You scored 100 odd. South Africa scored 430 plus in that 50 over game.
That was an enjoyable one, I must say. You were definitely more attacking this year, there's no doubt about it. But in 2023, I even posted about it on Twitter. I don't know if you saw that by any chance, but I can't remember if it was Harsha that was talking about it was Harsha.
Okay.
You just said that you are moving better than ever. That's exactly what I thought. I was watching a test match that you played, and it's almost like something changed. You looked more free, a bit more attacking. But it's the funny thing in life that sometimes when you're more attacking, the better things come from it. And when you're tentative and conservative and scared of losing, that's when we get stuck. But you're looking better than ever, and I think you have many more years to come. So let's go to 2015. Probably the best form I was ever in at that time, but also a very confusing time in my life as we lost that World Cup semi-finals. I think you guys got also knocked out against Australia in the semi-finals in Adelaide, if I'm not mistaken. Sydney, ACG. Anyway, that was like almost like my career came to an end there, and I had to sort of, no, I wasn't going to retire, but that was like the ultimate. I couldn't believe that things didn't happen the way it should have, you know, where you have this picture in mind of things playing out. Anyway, I was still in good form, and we came over here. Sort of found my feet again, very motivated to play well, and we run into a very strong test side. It's particularly your test captaincy or captaining a test side for India. Your record speaks for itself. Having played test matches, won 4, never lost a test match as captain. What do you remember from that test series?
I think from a test series, Australia series was really special for us. All the players were, pretty much young or inexperienced, whatever you want to say. But I thought that series was special to me because I thought we played as a team. Teams which I always believe that it's a team sport. There's no one superstar. I think you got to give importance to every player. And I thought that series, why we did well because we enjoyed each other's company. We were trying to help each other out. And we just wanted to play to our strength rather than focusing on the result, especially the Australia tour. And that was the result I thought we got because we played as a unit. We were never worried about what is going to happen. We were never worried about the outcome of the that test series. It was always about play to our strength. Let's enjoy the game and try and go out there and give our best. So that's what I enjoyed it as a captain. For me, it's always about how can I comfort a player, because every player is really important, and in every player's life, something or the else, something is going on, whether it's a personal life or in professional life, but trying to understand the player, that is a challenge. So I was always trying to do that, during that Australia tour, what is a player's mindset, every player's mindset, trying to have that conversation with everyone, one-on-one conversation, trying to understand them, if something is bothering them, allow them, complete freedom to express, because that was everyone's team. So whatever inputs they wanted to tell me or the coaching staff, they were completely open.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed it. But the 2015 series was, apart from the Delhi Test match for me also, we know the wickets we were playing in India. That was very challenging for the batsman.
Yes, it was tough.
Really tough. But yeah, that Delhi Test match was memorable. Yes, I scored 2 centuries, but also watching you guys play, especially in the 4th innings, it was a great learning experience.
Yeah, it's always tough coming over here. You always feel like the margin for error is so small.
Yeah.
If you don't take your opportunities, especially when we're bowling.
Yeah.
We get a catch in the field. It can be so costly because the minute you get in, everything gets so much easier. But to come in as a new batter, the ball's kicking, it's unpredictable. Very, very tough Test series. But then there was the ODI series as well, where we won here for the first time ever as a South African team. So just very memorable series for us then. You also had a good ODI series. You scored some
From
runs.
personal point of view, yes, it was a very good ODI series. But for me, when we came to South Africa in 2013, 2014 for the Test series, we played 1 Test match in Durban and 1 in Joburg.
Yeah, that's right.
I thought that was a great learning experience for me, because playing on that bouncy tough. Durban was slightly on the slower side, but the Joburg had a really good bounce. So I think I wanted to ask you about, from the preparation point of view, when you come from those conditions, like the bounce is realistic, the pace is really good, and then coming back here, for the Test series. What adjustment you had to make?
Yeah, so some technical stuff. I would stay a bit more lakeside in India, where in South Africa you almost want to get across to that off stump.
Yeah.
And if you're very ballsy, if you have a lot of guts, get out of your crease, because you wanna sort of take LBW and bowled out of the equation for the balls that move back off the seam.
Got it.
So I would really like to cover off stump. I had a big trigger movement, but also if the pace was not lightning fast, I would try and get out of my crease.
Yeah.
And then it's a game of not playing the wrong shot outside off, just keeping nice and tight, wait for a bad delivery, which you didn't get very often against the best bowlers like a Bumrah. I can't even remember when last he bowled me a half volley. I mean, it's ridiculous. So you get some of those bowlers very similar to a Glenn McGrath back in the day. Didn't give you anything. You almost had to take a risk to get runs, But that's all. I obviously worked a lot on spin bowling when I played over here. But generally throughout my career, I worked on that because we weren't very accustomed to that at home.
Yeah.
But Jacques Callis played a big role in helping me with my triggers and how to play spin, how to get my hands in front of my pads sometimes, keep that angle of the blade. So lots of things to think about, but there's no replacement for actually going into the nets and just practicing something until you get it right, I'll just quickly think back about many, many years when I played against Sewag and VVS Lakshman. And our VVS in particular would hit the ball on the leg side. The ball's turning away, and I was like, "You're not allowed to do that." We were taught not to do that. So a lot of doors opened up for me in India, sort of just experimenting and exploring different areas of my game. But the most important thing was always the basics. No matter what format I played, Test matches, ODIs, T20s, IPL, I knew if I had my head in a good position, if I'm moving well, not falling over, and if I'm playing the ball late. In particular, an on drive. When I hit an on drive early on in my innings, I knew the bowlers were in trouble on the day, no matter what they bowled. So it's little trigger points that you get to understand throughout your career, and you've got those as well. All right, I'm going to leave you there. Thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you.
All the best for the rest.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you.
You too. Yeah.
Excellent.
You want to start on me, and then I'll just do a little intro, and then we'll just have a conversation.
Excellent. Yeah. We have the audio somewhere.